Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, the surroundings have changed just a little bit from my normal videos, which are outside, and that's because we are now in winter. So there's snow outside, so that's probably not going to happen anymore. So for this video, I wanted to do a Q&A. Really wanted to do it for hitting over 1,000 followers on Instagram. Now I'm over 1,100. So we're slowly creeping up there. I'm slowly motivating more and more people, and I'm so excited for it. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question was asked by Linny122303, and she asked who my favorite niece / nephew is. I bet you can guess that she is one of my nieces, and I won't tell you who my favorite is, but maybe if you make me dinner, I'll tell you who my least favorite is. Alright, Lauren Snyder 319 asked what the hardest part of my weight loss journey has been. That's a really tough one. The hardest part about my weight loss journey, I think, is staying away from the scale, which sounds, I guess doesn't sound that silly, but every time I walk by the scale, I step on it. I could have walked into the kitchen and walked back out and there's my scale, so I step on it. And the hardest part is to not let that get me discouraged. Because even though I know in my mind that on a day-to-day basis my weight is going to continue to change, and what I weigh on Tuesday I may not weigh on Wednesday, and what I weigh on Wednesday I may not weigh on Friday, it fluctuates between fluid intake and weight itself. So the hardest part for me is remembering to stay off of the scale. So I will constantly be on that scale, and that really is the hardest part of the journey, is just remembering to not just focus on the number, because there's so much more that goes into it. This shirt that I bought 3 years ago, and you can see it's like super loose and flowy, and when I bought it, it didn't fit. And I was heartbroken because I bought it specifically for Christmas. I think it's so cute. And it didn't fit me, and I was absolutely destroyed by it. So even just fitting into the clothes is like a huge motivation for me. But definitely the hardest part is not associating my weight loss with just a number. Vicky had a few questions for me. So the first one she said is, what do you do on days you're incredibly frustrated? I cry. I curse having the surgery. For those of you who are new, I curse having the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I get very frustrated over the simplest things. One of the hardest things I've had to overcome is not being able to eat the normal amount of food. So when you sit down with a bowl of food and you're like, oh, I can't wait to eat this, I've been waiting for it all day, and you take 7 or 8 bites and you're physically full, you cannot, no matter what you want to do, you cannot fit another bite in you, but you still want that food. So that is one of the most incredibly frustrating things. And the easiest thing for me on days when it's that frustrating is to remember that I did this for me. I did this for a purpose, and that not being able to finish that food is exactly what I wanted, and to remember that I got what I wanted. So to feel blessed versus feeling frustrated. I also asked, how do I stay motivated? My family is by far one of my biggest motivators. I want to be there to see all my nieces and nephews graduate high school and go to prom and do all of those things, and I want to be active enough that I can go places with them. Like over the summer we went to Canopy Lake, which is up here in New Hampshire. It's a little amusement park. My ultimate goal, if you follow my Instagram, is Disney. 110% my ultimate goal is Disney, to ride the rides, to be able to fit on the coasters and ride them with my nieces and nephews and not be ashamed. So staying motivated is really just about staying focused for me. Any medical conditions get better. I had sleep apnea when I originally went in back in June. And since having the surgery, I'm off my CPAP machine. I've actually returned it to the medical home place, or the home medical place. I didn't have any other comorbidities. I didn't have asthma. I didn't have diabetes. So nothing really went along with my obesity besides the sleep apnea, and that's gone. So that's exciting. And lastly, from Vicky, how do my heavy set friends deal with my success? I don't really have many heavy set friends. but everyone is incredibly supportive. I have not gotten a single negative comment from anyone. I've had one negative comment on my Instagram, and that was from a stranger, and he was just really rude to everyone. So aside from that, I don't have a single person who has been negative towards me about the weight loss. And if you're being negative to someone about their weight loss, there's something wrong upstairs, because someone who is trying to better themselves and someone who is bettering themselves by losing weight doesn't need to be beaten down by you. So if you're a bully, knock it off. Makeup by Yari, I believe that's how you pronounce it, asks, what type of motivation has family and the beloved one given you? As I said, family is a huge motivation. They're always trying to get me up and active, of course, because I was a couch potato for the longest time. I just didn't do anything. I didn't move. Honestly, I watched TV. That's what I did. So just being active, making sure that I'm eating, because you don't feel hunger, so you forget to eat, or you don't want to eat. So they definitely motivate me to make sure that I'm getting my protein. And the beloved one, I'm single as a Pringle, and I'm okay with it, so I don't have to worry about a beloved one giving me any sort of motivation. Last few questions. The Flab and Furious asked, do you ever have urges to binge on food? If so, how do you stop them? I think there's always that urge to binge on food, because the surgery fixes your stomach, not necessarily your mind. So there's always that urge when you're at the grocery store to buy the food that isn't healthy for you, to, when you're walking around your kitchen, pick something up and eat it, whether it's an Oreo, whether it's a bag of chips. There's always that urge to binge on food, but your stomach won't let you. So I guess that's kind of how I stop it, is because I can look at the food and say, I'm not even hungry. Why do I want it? And be able to walk away. So it's definitely a mental game, but you have to be able to talk yourself out of wanting that specific food. Last question from loading 321 RNY is how to avoid temptations when cooking for loved ones / what can I make myself that's similar and healthy? So I don't have children. I don't have a significant other. Very rarely do I cook anything big for multiple people. The biggest thing I can say is if you're making something like chicken parmesan for your family, instead of frying your chicken, grill it or bake it. Just little substitutions like that will help you. Stay away from a lot of pastas and carbs, especially breads. I'm such a bread person, but staying away from the little things like that, even reducing the portion of them that you're taking in, will all make everything healthier. So guys, that is it for all of our questions. I'm so excited to have had so many people reach out to me, both on Instagram. I've had some people on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, go do that. Of course, subscribe to my channel here if you want to see more videos. I do want to post more consistently, but right now I'm just in that weird transition where I'm still trying to figure out what my weight is and what you guys want to see. So let me know in the comments below. But other than that, bye darlings.